Anatomy is the study of structure of organisms and their parts. The term anatomy is derived from Greek meaning to dissect. Anatomical position. It is the default position of reference for describing anatomical planes and axes. Anatomical position is when one is standing upright, feet slightly apart but legs parallel. Hands at the side, palm facing forward and eyes looking straight. So, whenever we are describing any structure, it is the position that we take as a reference. Planes are the 2D surfaces that cuts our 3D body into different sections. In an anatomical position, our body is described using coordinate axes. The sagittal plane runs an x-axis and cuts the body into left and right. The coronal plane runs an y-axis from back to front and divides our body into anterior and posterior. And similarly, in z-axis from top to bottom runs transverse plane. Some terminologies. Anterior refers to front and posterior to back. For example, urinary bladder is anterior to the uterus or uterus is posterior to bladder. It is also alternatively used as ventral and dorsal. Superior means above and inferior means below. Our chest is superior to the abdomen. Diaphragm is inferior to lungs. Proximal and distal terms are given on reference with an origin. Proximal means closer to origin while distal is further from origin. Elbow joint is distal to shoulder joint. Elbow joint is proximal to wrist joint. Flexion is the movement around the joint that decreases the angle between two or more bones. If the angle between bones increases on movement, then that is termed extension. The midline divides body into equal left and right halves. The movement that take any structure away from the midline is abduction. By contrast, adduction is the movement that brings any structure towards midline. Internal rotation, medial rotation, is the movement towards the midline/center of the body. As in folded hands. On the other hand, external rotation, lateral rotation, is the movement away from midline. External shoulder rotation is necessary for the golf swing. Elevation is the movement of body towards superior direction. For example, the shoulder shrug or when we look towards the sky. Then again, the movement for looking toward the ground is depression. Or opening of mouth is due to depression of mandible.